be speaking, and I'm very honored to be speaking today with Gamification Europe about gamified customer experience. A fantastic case study that we have with New Look in fashion retail. But before I do this, I just want to set the scene a little bit because we're talking about customer experience. And I think it's important to understand what customers actually are looking for today when they are looking at gamified customer experiences. I think one of the things that the first thing that we really need to be aware of is that there is a big shift and a lot of things have changed during the pandemic, but also before the pandemic, with the data privacy. Consumers are now really in control of their data and really want to increasingly gain more control. So this is a very big market trend. We see a big market trend in e-commerce as well. I mean, I'm sure everyone has been shopping online like crazy during the pandemic. Everything was online. But also the last part is very much a value exchange where people want to understand what's in it for me. And this is where gamification can play a really strong role. So if we look at the data privacy part, a lot of things are changing. People are not really going to be able to use third-party cookie data, for example. So there's a big shift away from this inferred and observed data collection to something that is more one-to-one relationships with first-party data and zero-party data, whereby we are going to collect email addresses, interests, preferences of people. And this is a very big change that's happening in the industry. And that's where gamification can play a great role as well to help brands and to be able to have a much nicer and a much more open and honest customer experience, because you're going to collect data in a very open way, in a very honest way. The other thing is the value exchange. Consumers are now more and more aware of the value of their data. And they really understand that if I'm going to leave my email address, if I'm going to leave my details, what's in it for me? And the what's in it for me is about, of course, you can always think about incentives, about rewards, but it's also about an enhanced brand experience. And I think it's really important to realize that that's how you are going to be, and with games, you can really enhance that brand experience, but that's how you're going to get that relationship going. And the value exchange is a really strong aspect of data and the data collection, especially in this trend of consumer control. So, of course, with gamification, there's many different things possible. Today, I will be just focusing on one experience. This is an experience that we're doing with New Look in the fashion industry, but there are many different ways of engaging and using gamification. So, if we look at the example of New Look, what we did together with them is to basically build an experience that's going to be part of their customer relationship management program, their CRM program. And they came to us because they said, look, we are trying to engage and we are trying to enhance the customer experience, but it's very difficult, it's very challenging. We are not getting the right results, we are not getting the right engagement. So together with them, we sat down, we looked at different ways of doing this, and we came up with a number of ideas. And they really like this little sticker, a very simple sticker that you can directly use on the back of an email. You can use this in your website, you can use this via social. And in their case, because it was a customer retention management program, a CRM retention program, they really drove this on the back of an email. Great clicks, really good clicks. I mean, you just heard from Albert, 391% in terms of click-throughs, and I'll show you some more of the stats afterwards. But the journey is basically you receive an email, you click in the email. From the email, you arrive on a experience where you can peel that little sticker, and it's a really just like a sticker basically, but you can do this on your mobile, of course, on desktop as well. Then you peel it directly with your mouse. And then behind, there is a special offer, which is in this case 25% off. what we did on this landing page as well, we added all the different products, and then you can really see, and that drives a lot of engagement as well, because people are directly seeing those products with this 25% and are driven to conversion. And this is where the last step, of course, is the website to drive the conversion. Now, this type of experience drove a lot of clicks, but also drove a lot of conversions eventually. So here you can see the example of the sticker itself. Inside the email, it was just a moving GIF, just to trigger a little bit the people to the game, to the gamified experience. Once people click, they arrive on the page, as mentioned, and then can really experience the sticker and get that feeling of, this is like a game. This is a gamified experience. What we see here is that there are a number of aspects that play a role. There is an aspect of psychology, a fear of missing out. Don't know what's behind the sticker, so I'm just going to peel to reveal. So the psychology is a very big aspect of what we call reveal marketing. And you see the results, really good results in terms of click-through rates from email to the peel to reveal sticker. Really good results in terms of revenue as well, but also in terms of site visits directly. What the team at New Look did, they created two versions. One version that was a static version without this sticker and without this interactive gamified experience. And then another one just with the sticker in this case, just to see what the uplift would be. And these are the results basically. So really interesting to see how engaged people suddenly become if you gamify a little bit more the experience and you make it interactive. Now, these kind of experiences have been done across the board with different types of brands. I mean, we are seeing this also working extremely well here in this case with a gift with purchase. So there are different ways of using this type of gamification to really engage and to reveal and to give a little reward or to create that relationship and to make that value exchange with your audience much richer. Because that's what it is. If you enhance the brand experience, if you have a much stronger brand experience and much stronger value exchange with this enhanced brand experience, you're going to get much better results in terms of engagement. And customers will be happy. The customer experience will be very strong. Here, another example of the peel again with a calendar. And here the calendar is a lovely way to also continuously during the Christmas period to have an enhanced brand experience. Every day you have a new offer and you can peel to reveal, or you saw here another mechanic, slide to reveal, or scratch to reveal. So it's all about this fear of missing out, this psychological effect, this interactive experience of the game, to be very curious behind this interactive sticker or door or scratch. And what we are seeing is that this type of environments can be applied to many different brands or different retailers. What we do during this brand experience as well, there are some ways of collecting a little bit of data as well to enhance the customer experience even further, because we are going to in this case, be able to understand who these people are, what they're interested in, and what they received as an offer. So the re-engagement afterwards will be much stronger. And therefore, the gamified customer experience can be also much stronger afterwards because we can send personalized gamified experience. So typically, for example, for VIP customers, we could send maybe a scratch card that's going to be a VIP scratch card. Only because you are a VIP, you will receive this scratch card, for example. So there are ways also to enhance the customer experience because also the data that we are collecting in a very open, in a very transparent way with the audience. And so reveal marketing is a really interesting concept, and the gamified and the gamification that you can build around reveal, as you saw with New Look, but as you see here with those different examples, are really, really powerful. You can really create any type of experience. This is probably a bit suitable to this time of the year. We're coming into Easter. crack the egg, but we also have something for Halloween where you smash the pumpkin. And here it's really a lovely idea of you tap, tap, tap. There's an interactivity, there's a game experience here, and you reveal an offer directly behind. Other clients have done something also with Shake. Again, the experience of shaking your phone, shaking to reveal an offer. So a lot of these experiences are completely, as you can see, it's really, really easy to brand these experiences. But the idea of all these experiences is to drive the engagement and to get a customer experience that's a nice customer experience, a lovely experience, an experience where you have that reward coming behind the interactive game and an immediate satisfaction, basically, and psychological effects of satisfaction behind. Of course, there are many other ways of doing this type of engagement. We also have the typical Wheel of Fortune. That's a very good way. But I would say that one of the very popular one is definitely the calendar, where we are driving these different tiles, these different days, and every day there is this little game of let's peel the sticker. Day 1, let's peel the sticker. Day 2, let's peel the sticker. And we gamify this even further by adding, for example, confettis or different aspects inside the experience to make it even more, more interesting and more fun, more engaging, to get the notifications and to get the engagement there. So what we are seeing is that a lot of the clients that are using this type of interactive experiences do this across different times and different moments during the year or within their programs. So there are a lot of different aspects of this type of gamification that can be done directly inside, for example, an e-commerce store where you're going to do a pop-up registrations, or it can be during an event where you're going to have people coming to your booth and you want to gamify the interactive experience. So a lot of these experiences are very much around acquisition, but also, as the example with New Look, with this increase of click-through rate, with this increase of engagement of 391%, it's about the customer retention side and the CRM program to really make sure that the customer experience is going to be a surprise and delight customer experience. And what we're seeing is that a lot of the things that we're doing are very much related to the loyalty as well, where people get closer to the brand because they feel more engaged, they feel more emotionally connected to the brand. And I think this is a very important aspect of the experience that I was just showing, is we create, and these experiences create this emotional connection with your audience. So the game is fun, the game is engaging, it drives people to do something, but it's an emotional connection that is created. And what we're seeing is that the results in terms of engagement, in terms of the acquisition, in terms of conversion, are automatically higher because people are much more connected with the brand, much more connected with the offers and what is happening. So a lot of different touch points, a lot of different moments where this is possible. We are seeing things around tell a friend, also referral programs play a great role, preference centers as well, profile enrichment to understand better with people. But the seasonality is one of the aspects that we see a lot. I mean, when you think about all the different moments during the year, a lot of these interactive experiences and games can be used for different seasons. So seasons around, for example, Christmas, where we have these type of games. Christmas also around Chinese New Year, for example, that we did together with a number of brands. So these are moments as well that are really, really key in terms of driving these engagements. So seasonality is a big aspect, and then, as mentioned, the loyalty is increasing. More and more people are using games also to drive the customer loyalty and to get that engagement with their audience. So a lot of things are possible in terms of the brands and the type of brands that are using gamification. It's really across the board. We are seeing a lot of different brands where it's the fun and the engagement side is part of the brand. So using a game inside the customer experience is also almost second nature. It's almost like a natural fit with the brand. So you can think about some brands where they're already very fun and engaging and already gamified by themselves. So we use those games just as an enhancement already of the brand, as an add-on in the brand to make the brand even more interactive and get even more interaction with the brand itself. So a lot of things are possible, a lot of things that are very interesting for this type of engagement and where the interactive customer experiences can play a role. But I think what's really, really important with this customer experience is to really think about the value exchange. The value exchange is the key aspect. And when we want to have an enhanced customer experience, when we want to have a really good customer experience, is really to think, what is my audience looking for? What are they interested in? And it's not always a discount. It's not always an incentive. It's not always a reward. But with a game, you can really bring the audience much closer to you and make them feel good. There is a moment of reward. There is a moment of surprise, a moment of delight. I'm playing a moment of satisfaction. And I think this is where the game is particularly strong. When you have something like this, when something like this is really being pushed forward, this is how you are really going to get your audience to engage with you and to be more loyal, thanks to the fact that they're sharing more data with you, sharing their email address, sharing maybe also their preferences, their interests, and their intents to really drive the conversation for a much stronger relationship with the audience. So I hope this was a good a bit of background on how we use games and how games can be used inside an environment like New Look. Yeah, I don't know if there are any questions maybe or anything that would be coming from the panel about what is possible with games in addition to what I've just showed.
Thank you very much, Jacques. Interesting stuff there. See if there are any questions that come through with the remainder of time that we have. I do want to highlight one thing that came from Victoria, because I also sort of like the idea when mentioning, so removing the sticker and the effect of that, and quite like that idea of having that sort of psychosomatic aspect of it. It's a sort of almost physical interaction to sort of really bring home that emotional connection that you were talking about.
Yes, absolutely. So sorry, the question was?
Oh, it's more just pointing out, sort of like just like that concept of how that sort of works, and that sort of reemphasize the emotional connection. I guess having a physical activity that you're actually doing.
Mm.
I think we do have one question here. So no, it's actually from Pete and Gamification Europe, wondering if if the audience enjoyed the games that Odishi made for each day of the conference and the build-up. So those were quite fun.
I think to your point with the emotional connection, it's really interesting, because the minute that if someone is doing it, we have that engagement. They are engaged with the brand. They are going to go and participate to something, and are very happy to be part of the journey.
Yeah.
And I think it's about taking people on a journey. And that's where the name Odyssey comes from as well. It's the journey of data, Odyssey, and this is what it is. It's to bring people into your environment and bring them and engage with them in a fun way, in an interactive way. Much more nicer than trying to collect data in a creepy way using third-party data, for example.
No, definitely. Yeah. It's I think it's sort of it, as you were mentioning, sort of through the talk as well. It sort of has that effect of empowering the user, the customer, the player. In this case, it seems like they're physically doing something. They're making their own choices, working through it. And I think it's also that sort of point which we've heard of in a few talks today. That it's what you've also said, that value exchange. making sure that the user is aware that they're also important. They're not just there to be targeted constantly.
That's right.
So that's very very interesting stuff. I mean, and so I think if sort of if we have a little bit more time, I did like the sort of wanted to explore that idea with you in terms of like you sort of said it at the end, that gamification should be an add-on. So I'm sort of wondering, is like exploring that idea. So in your opinion, is it then so sort of gamification is there to sort of build upon the brand, build upon the experience, but you sort of need that foundational experience to be there in the first place anyway?
Yes. I mean, you. I mean, it's interesting that a lot of the brands that we work with, of course, they have already some of ideas of gamification and how to gamify. But what we are seeing is that people are rediscovering themselves as well, and realize actually we have this playful side and we never really used it. So suddenly they're using it and they're making it interactive. I mean, we have this example with Virgin Holidays where they had a whole brand campaign around games. It was the world is your playground, and games every 3 or 4 months there was a new game. So it's really adding a theme, and for brands, it's also to make them more accessible, because people are like, oh great, I want to interact with this brand because they have this this game or this interactive way of engaging the audience. So it opens up a lot of new conversations, a lot of doors. It's a whole new way, basically, of communicating and engaging our customers and audiences.
Brilliant. Well, I think we're ready for our next speaker. So thank you very much for your talk today, Jacques. Much
My pleasure, Albert.
appreciated.